Thank you for this introduction on the well-being economy. I think this is quite innovative concept. I like very much the time bank. I really wonder how this is going to be taken by different countries. But it's interesting because we value money without valuing the time sometimes. And this is what probably needs to change. It's quite provocative because, of course, the time, it's not, it's different in terms of value for everybody, every country, and so on and so forth. But it's really worth mentioning, and it could be one way of valuing beyond money, the time. I think this is a key factor that when we don't think about it, but it is key for our economy. So thank you very much. And beyond this, I think there is a lot of work to be done on the social production. And your work, it's very, very important to go beyond the growth model that we know about. And I believe that we need to think of different types of well-being economies. And we need to have a collective thinking altogether to understand what makes the well-being economy really prosperous for the nations. Probably beyond growth. Of course, after the Second World War, we needed to grow. I mean, there was no other way. And now we grew, but then at the same time, at the expense of our health and also our planets. So we need to probably rethink again these models and try not to degrow, because I'm not very sympathetic with the degrowth model. I think degrowing probably will have certain consequences that we don't want to see. But probably reshuffle, the numbers and try really to think differently, not only on finance, on financial matrix, but we have already the ESG, the environment, the social, governance, and these are all matrix that we could probably harness to ensure that we are moving into more or wider model that is good for all. And with this, I would like to thank you again, and I want to make directly the link to the next session. I don't see, no, Pavel is here. We are quite late, so I don't know. We have 30 minutes for this. Okay, so we have 40 minutes max for this session. 30 minutes, oh my God. 30 minutes on carbon neutrality as a renewed societal aspiration. So I like this aspiration thing. We are supposed to be carbon neutral. I look at the EIB at Shiva. I think, we are supposed to be carbon neutral by 2030. And I don't think any country will be carbon neutral by 2030. At the same time, it's very difficult to aspire for economies to move to carbon neutrality if our brains are not carbon neutral. I think we are not there. We didn't do the transition yet. And I think we need to be kind of green in our brains to ensure that we are really part of this movement. And I think having both brain capital and nature capital, and I talked at the beginning of nature capital, it's probably the way to think, to transform our economies very quickly into carbon neutrality. So with this, I would like to introduce Bursin Ikiz, who is the founder and director of EcoNeuro. I had a fantastic discussion with her over lunch, and she might have answers for us on the carbon neutrality and connection to the neuroscience and the experience that she's bringing from her point of view, from her expertise area, which is neuroscience. What can we do to achieve this carbon neutrality? How can this connect with the brain positive economy that we would like or aspire to have in the future? So please, to you, Bursin.